College basketball tripleheader continues on CBS Sports Network. Gonzaga, fresh off their biggest win of the year, heads on the road to take on Loyola Marymount. A peek at the West Coast Conference standings. This is the first of two straight on CBS Sports Network among the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga behind St. Mary's. St. Mary's takes on Pepperdine after this game. Hi, and welcome to the dark Gersten Pavilion, along with Coach Bob Wetzel. My name is Chris Lewis. So Gonzaga, what a win over the weekend. On the road, number 17 Kentucky, got their first Quad 1 win of the year. More importantly, though, showed what they can look like when they play their best.
It's a confidence boost. Not only did they beat Kentucky's team, but they also beat Rupp Arena, which is a very, very difficult place to play. Not so much this year a little bit, but, I mean, it's still a very, very good win. And I think it's a confidence boost for their team going down the stretch here, and they're playing as good as they can play right now.
Well, for the West Coast Conference, Graham Ike, who's a transfer from Wyoming, having an all-conference caliber year.
He is an unbelievable lane player, maybe the best in the country. He knows angles, he knows how to take advantage of his body, and he's got versatility, he's got length, and he understands the game. He absolutely annihilated Kentucky with 23. Anton Watson is the other front court player on this team who has been there forever. 5-year guy, good inside, good outside, good passer, good rebounder, good steals. He does everything for this team, and he is really a wonderful guy to watch.
Well, the challenge for Loyola Marymount, Coach Stan Johnson, putting enough guys on the court. You can see the injury report for this game. 6 absences, including captain Kelly Leapepe, leading scorer Dominic Harris. Only 6 scholarship players available in this game. One of them, Alex Merkvaladze, the forward.
Alex is 6'8" and 230. You can see his power on these things that we have showing you right here. He also can shoot the 3. He has got to get big numbers in this game against a very good team that has strength at his position.
It's the day after Valentine's Day, but it's still a matchup to love, Coach. Loyola Marymount and Gonzaga. They go head-to-head next. Gonzaga on the road against the banged-up Loyola Marymount team. And for more on the Lions and their injury troubles, for the first time, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Emily Proud.
Well, Chris, coaches love to say next man up, but the Lions are running out of men. Jovan Ristic, who hasn't dressed all season long as they try to preserve his red shirt, he will have a jersey on, and they could have to burn that red shirt in case of an emergency tonight. Lars Thiemann, who you will see a lot of, told me that they have to play with the same intensity, but also have to play smart. He said he is very aware that they cannot afford to get into foul trouble. But the group, they're leaning on the mentality that Coach Stan Johnson set, saying nobody is going to feel sorry for us, Chris.
Yeah, the challenge continues. It's the 10th different starting lineup this season for LMU. A big starting lineup for this game. We'll get more into that. Gonzaga, their usual starting 5. Anton Watson coming off of 17 points against Kentucky. In fact, in that win, we talked to Mark Few at Shoot Around today. Said, was the plane ride back hyped? He said the team was exhausted after getting that win against Kentucky. Well earned.
Indeed, indeed.
Ike against Thiemann to take the tip. Gonzaga wins it underway at the Gersten Pavilion here in LA.
Front line for Loyola, 7'1", 6'8", 6'8". During the course of the game, a guard will substitute for one of those, and they'll go with a smaller lineup.
6 scholarship players available for LMU. We'll see how they navigate that against one of the West Coast Conference's best. Graham Ike doubled. Shot clock at just 3. It has to be Ben Gregg, and gets it to go. Ben Gregg with the shot clock expiring.
I was going to say that was one pass too many, but apparently not.
Connects on the grenade.
All right, we're going to see a lot of guard penetration right here. Number 3, Justice Hill, is a transfer from LSU and Murray State.
Great cut for Michael Graham on the baseline. Thunderous slam to begin it.
High energy right off the bat. They're going to help on him.
They send the help. Rotation to Nemhard. Gets the friendly shooter's role. A 29% three-point shooter, but much better in West Coast Conference play.
Strength of the offense, of course, is in the interior for Gonzaga. They also are a very high-scoring team, in the 80s most of the time. 3 is not the strength. 2s are the strength. Highly unusual in modern-day college basketball.
What is this? All these 2s going in? Unfamiliar. Merkbalad save, fadeaway J in front of the rim, and Anton Watson skies for the rebound.
He does everything.
EK does a lot too. Ooh.
He is one of the most fun players for me to watch. I'll tell you what. Long, versatile, I mean, in the lane, double teams, makes plays, can pass.
Transfer from Wyoming, played for Jeff Linder.
Hickman Nembhard switching on Hill. Hill's gonna go.
Clock at just 6, seeing double. Somebody's open. Johnston in the corner is fouled with the clock just down to 2. Will Johnston draws the contact.
Take a look at the clock. Take a look at the release. It's gone. Perfect, perfect timing. And EK on the run. He's going to score in a lot of ways.
First foul on Nolan Hickman. Off the inbounds, Will Johnston lasers in a 3.
Great execution right there.
And then LMU gets the steal. Juice, Justice Hill, scoops it home.
Great start for the home team. A lot of high energy here. Only 6 players. How long can they sustain it?
Against the beast at EK, who gets fouled.
The more you go inside, the more you get fouled, the more that's a detriment to the home team here. Great execution on the screen, wide open jump shot. That young man, Johnston from Australia, had 27 against Colorado State. Colorado State, of course, is a ranked team and is going to the NCAA tournament. Preseason, Stan Johnson's team picked 4th in the league. All of these injuries have sent them down quite a bit. But I'll tell you what, his energy in the shoot-around and his inspiring talk to the players was really, really interesting to watch.
That was great. He said, tonight, it's about the fight. Only have 6 available scholarship players, but try to have a little fun along the way as well. Another baseline cut, Graham. He's met by Watson, and that's a tie-up. Jump ball, Arrow will keep it with LMU.
That's twice that Graham has gone backdoor and they have found him. Okay, here's the substitution. Right here, Greg in the right place. Watson goes straight up. See how he goes straight up? And then grabs at the ball when it's on the floor. Graham goes to the bench, and in comes the guard, Wright, Justin Wright, who played for North Carolina Central University, which is in Durham, North Carolina. There's another college there.
Heard of it. Johnston again, second jumper off the inbounds for Will Johnston.
Hickman got caught.
EK gets a lot of early post touches, batted off the rim, knocked out of bounds, belongs to the Lions.
Johnston on one side of the floor. Notice the 2 screens right there. Hickman cannot get through. That's great execution. A double screen by your 2 biggest guys.
The officials came together and awarded Gonzaga possession after that ball goes out of bounds. Shot clock at 20.
Good hustle on the D. A lot of denial. First pass away. Here comes the double.
And there's the rotation. Ben Gregg with time to line it up. 34% from downtown. He's already hit on 2 threes.
He started the last 8. Nice run out.
Justin Wright, tough finish against EK. Great tempo and energy to start this game. And those whistles against Loyola Marymount, every foul is a gasp for Coach Stan Johnson. This one on Justice Hill.
Right to the basket. He shot that on the way down. Very, very good. Those 2 guards, I think, are going to take the most shots in the game.
2 guys who put it on the floor in the backcourts. Greg misses a 3.
You know, that can be a false narrative right here for Gonzaga. They're not a great three-point shooting team, and they make some early. Maybe they get in love with the three. That can be a danger for a team. Hickman's got to concentrate a little bit more on his defense. He has not been stellar. Got lost a couple of times so far.
Gonzaga made great plays down the stretch in their win against Kentucky. Will Johnson gets the body there for his first foul.
How about the threes early? That guy's 6'10".
Fast pace to start. Gonzaga a 1-point lead. And it seems like, Coach, all the conversation surrounding Gonzaga right now is about the streak. 24 straight NCAA tournaments. Can that continue? You see the good on their resume, good computer numbers. Had that quad 1 win this weekend against Kentucky, their first of the year. There's the bad. Their quad 1 record, just 1-5. A lot of their wins against quad 3 and 4, and now what's left? You have a couple of quad 1 games remaining in the regular season slate at San Francisco and then at St. Mary's, which will be an awesome game. Then, of course, a lot of quad 3 and 4 games left. So the question for Mark Few's team at this point, what the future holds.
You don't have to worry about it if you win your tournament. So, you know, we're talking all of this talk, you know, and it's great and it's good and all that, but those are for not automatic qualifiers. The automatic qualifier from this conference wins the tournament in Las Vegas, and that's when you're number 1 or 2 in the league, you get a bye to the semifinals. So all you have to do is win 2 games. So there's 2 ways for Gonzaga to get to the NCAA tournament.
That on that, let's go to Emily.
Yeah, these Gonzaga players get asked all the time about the 24 straight NCAA tournament streak on the line this season, and as much as you'd like to think they block out the noise, it is hard to avoid. The streak is plastered all over their facilities, but this team is confident, they play loose, and there's kind of that general sense that they'll figure it out because they always have.
That's the thing, this Gonzaga team, the expectation literally on the building. And one of the things you mentioned about the conference tournament, Coach, is the West Coast Conference tournament does protect some of the top teams in the way the bracket is structured. As Watson's at the free throw line. So
they reward performance in the regular season in the conference more than some of the mega conferences do. You know, if you're the Big 12 and you're getting 8 teams in it, something like that, that's a different story.
The last foul for LMU against Alex Merkvaladze. Back-to-back fouls on the forward, so he has to be careful.
Full court pressure, 3/4 court variety. They're going to trap in the backcourt, maybe at the 10-second line also. Pass to the middle and look opposite is what you want to do here. Hill is very, very quick. Hickman cannot take his eyes off him when he's guarding him and he's got the ball. If you look for the screen, he's going to go by you.
Johnston hit a couple of jumpers earlier, misses a 3. Tried to enter it into the post to Greg, out of his reach. It's a Bulldog turnover.
Watson was trying to reward Greg for that tip rebound that he was able to execute there. So Stromer's in the game right now. He's at the point out here, number 4. He started earlier in the year, now comes off the bench.
And head of that press that forces a steal. Hickman around and out. Rebound brought down by Michael Graham. Graham screens, Johnston turns the corner, and there's a foul on Dusty Stromer, the freshman. From about 20 miles away from here where he played his high school ball.
Right arm pushes, kind of ticky-tack really. Execution of end-line out-of-bounds plays, very important. This is what you do at the shoot-arounds in the day before the game, and they have executed this 3 times. He made 2, and that hit over the top of the backboard, so it'll be a turnover. Johnston really, I mean, he takes the second most threes on this team, shoots 36%. Pretty good. Zone for the first time. 1-3-1 variety. Corners will be open.
Greg in the corner. All right, the no-look pass, and Greg wasn't expecting, so Nembhard with a turnover.
Active bench by Loyola. They are up on every single play. 2 turnovers in a row for Gonzaga, and that's not what they want for sure. They average just about 10 a game, I believe. Pretty good at it. Stromer's got some length, doesn't he?
Does. Johnson stopping. Bullseye. Well, Johnston. 3 jumpers for 8 points.
He's got the 3 in his blood. Australian import.
The Stromer had the answer. It's short. LMU can take the lead. Hill off balance. Rainbow throw is pure.
I like what Stanley Johnson has done. He's extremely active on the sideline. Going zone is very, very good strategy here. Hill makes that 3. He's fired up about it. The 3-point shot in evidence in Gersten Pavilion on this night.
They call him Juice because he adds that speed. But Juice can also shoot it a bit. EK, gorgeous fadeaway J.
That's the name of the tune for them. And of course, Gonzaga is famous for fast break basketball. You know, they always push it. They want to get it down the floor quickly. And sometimes you get turnovers when you do that.
The most famous fast break college basketball team was an LMU team back in the late 80s, early 90s. Talk about fast breaks. Nolan Hickman all alone, his first 2.
Credit Watson with that basket. Knocked it away twice. Defense. You know, we talk about LMU and all the problems they've had with injuries, and you know, Gonzaga is not a deep team either. I mean, they have one guy who was injured out for the year, who I think Steve Ventners would have made a big difference on this team with his accurate outside shooting. Look at that tap.
And he gets rewarded from Nembhard. Watson ring it up.
How about that one? Watson deserves that, and a nice fancy pass by Nembhard, who leads his team in assists for sure.
As a coach, you're smiling. You can't help it. Sharing the ball, unselfish, offensive rebounding too.
This is you in the corner. Chris Lewis, down, bottom.
Early lead for Gonzaga, but moments ago, Emily caught up with Stan Johnson of LMU.
Coach, great energy to start this game. How do you sustain it?
Well, you know, we've got to keep our focus on the main thing, which is each other. And the more we can focus on each other, especially being down bodies, the less you can think about yourself. And I thought for the first 8 minutes or so, we've done that. But that's the key as we continue down the stretch here.
How much is your bench helping you out by bringing that energy?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we have so many guys on the bench, but that's our challenge. If we have 6 players, everybody else has to give those guys positive energy, and I think so far they've done a great job of that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And that's a story we highlighted right at the top. 6 scholarship players available, 6 players out for this game for Loyola Marymount. You can see their last game against Pepperdine, those minutes totals. You only have 6. You're going to have players who have to carry a heavy load. And Coach, I wanted to ask you about, you're facing a Gonzaga team that likes to press and plays at a fast tempo. You have to manage that with only 6 players for LMU?
Absolutely. I mean, at the beginning of the game, guys have so much energy, you don't have to worry about that. But as the game goes on, it becomes an issue, because fatigue becomes an issue with a lot of that. But you're going to see Nembhard probably will play 40 minutes in this game. You know, the thing that's concerned right now is fouls. And
big O-board for
Mertveladze has 2 already. So now you always take a guy out with 2, and he's out right now. but how long they can keep him out. He's going to the bench to check in, so he's got to be brainy here. He cannot get another foul in the first half.
He takes his spot at the scorer's table, ready for the next whistle.
Little weave action.
Nembhard, pull-up three, bricks it.
EK also out of the game. Braden Huff in, number 34. Played great against Kentucky.
And bodies Thiemann on the post. Braden Huff, who's having a great year. You mentioned the freshman off the bench.
So here comes Merck with Ladze. And we will see how he handles this situation with 2 fouls.
So he comes in for Michael Graham.
You know, Stan Johnson has to weigh fatigue, fouls, all of those things.
Nice to have a little juice, though. Second three for Justice Juice Hill.
He was out about 2 hours before the game when we first arrived, and he would take a 3 from one corner, run to the other corner. The manager would throw him the ball. He made 12 in a row, and he was trying to fatigue himself, you know, and practice while his heart was beating. I think we got a little unsportsmanlike conduct on the technical here.
Yeah, technical foul, so Hickman gets a chance to shoot free throws. The technical on Juice Hill.
Well, he's celebrating after he made the 3, you know, and sometimes you can get overly confident, especially when he's over by the other bench. Let's take a look at it. Makes the 3, watch him. Yep, and he's giving something to the Gonzaga bench. Can't do it, man, just can't do it. Hickman's been pretty silent in this game so far. I think he needs a shot. Nice double teaming here.
Hickman does line it up for 3. Said he's been quiet. Not so much. All 5 Gonzaga starters have found the scoring column.
I said he needed a shot, and he needed one. Sometimes you can tell players by watching their body language. Inside, we got strength against height here.
Strength. Thiemann wins the battle against Huff. Wow. Heavyweight fight.
Now, he read the scouting report. And he said, get involved when Huff comes in because he's a young player.
Across the lane, Watson gets the roll. One of the things Coach Stan Johnson told us, sometimes Thiemann, he can get a couple of shots early in the game and then sort of his teammates forget about him. They want them to consistently involve the big man. Corner 3, Merck Veladze too strong.
You know, another thing that Gonzaga has to deal with because of their reputation and how great a program they are, they get everybody's best shot. I mean, when they go on the road, I mean, teams are fired up to play against them in the league.
They get everybody's best shot. Off a 33% shooter for a big. Watson, active hands, pokes it twice. Look to be deflected, the officials agree. Wide entry pass, which is such an important part to post offense. Johnston off the mark, LMU turnover.
Nice running hook shot right here by the experienced leader of this group. Mark Few, unbelievable job. He has a son, Joe, who plays on the team. He has a son, AJ, who's on the coaching staff. Family affair at Gonzaga. 10 guys in the NBA also.
Got the up close and personal look for his 700th win this season. Second fastest to 700. Nolan Hickman connects on a 3. He has 10. The three-pointers raining down for the Zags. 6 for 9 from downtown.
That's a heck of a percentage for a team that doesn't shoot a great percentage. Right now, the pace of play favors Gonzaga. Even though Loyola Marymount is all juiced up about it, Gonzaga is a fast-paced, high-scoring team. That's perfect. Lakin plays a lot of games where he's in the high teens. You know, he averages 14 a game, 37% from deep, 84 on the foul line. And he plays 30, 38, 37 minutes every single game.
Spin on the baseline, tough fade, doesn't matter. Will Johnston, he's in double figures. Hickman wants three. A rare Zags miss from downtown, and Braden Huff is a contender for both the freshman and sixth man of the year in the West Coast Conference. His second foul.
On the move, spin, fade, bottom. Johnston is hot.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T. We believe connecting changes everything. By Walmart Plus. Members save on free delivery, plus gas, plus so much more. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
An absolute stunner last season when these teams met in Spokane. LMU won it, ending Gonzaga's 75-game home court win streak, the longest in the nation at the time. You can see the list is not long of teams to win at Gonzaga the last 7. That is 7 seasons. Those are the 3 teams.
Yep, and San Diego State did it this year, and St. Mary's did it this year as well. What a program they have built here. Great talent, great coaching. Win, 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 win. 2 Final Fours, multiple Sweet 16 and Elite Eights. Played in the finals twice. Frequent substitutions right here by Mark Few, trying to keep his guys energized.
Notable substitution, LMU back in Justice Hill. He has 2 fouls, including that technical. Skying for the board, elevating above. Michael Graham.
I like his game. He is 6'8", and he can run. He's from Brooklyn, New York.
Has that New York accent as well. It stands out here in LA. Hickman's teardrop, no, but a foul.
On the interior, go to the glass, gentlemen. Right there, he just jumps over everybody. Note, EK is not in the game at that juncture. He's at the other end. Well, here's the foul trouble situation.
Updating that, Justice Hill just committed his 3rd. So that's now 3 for number 3 for LMU.
And he's their Energizer Bunny, I tell you, and he's making 3s in this game also. Well, the one silly one when he got the technical over by the Gonzaga bench was not a basketball play. But he's got 3. So managing the foul situation for Stan Johnson is going to be impossible, really. Johnson's going to have to play the whole game.
And if you're just joining us, LMU, 6 players out, only 6 scholarship players available for this game against the Beast of the West Coast Conference in Gonzaga, but Will Johnston is undeterred. He has 12 points in the first half.
He's going after it. He only averages 10 a game, and now he's got 12 against a great team. EK back in.
EK can shoot it a bit.
Not that time. Nice tap back. That's the 3rd tap back they've had in this game. Probably a teaching point for them. This is where he's good.
There's all the footwork. Tough defense by Veladze to force the miss. How about Watson scooting in for the O-board?
Boy, he does some great stuff, doesn't he?
He's in the weight room and finishes with a beautiful right-handed shot.
He does things, that are just intelligent. Tips the ball back, gets the ball underneath, steals it on somebody.
Johnston draws the foul. Let's check in with Emily.
You're talking about Will Johnston, he has such an appreciation for the game. He had 0 Division I offers out of high school, so he walked on at JUCO. Then that produced 1 Division I offer, and that is where he went. He later transferred to LMU, worked his way up to the starting lineup. He told me that when things get tough, like their current injury situation, he reminds himself that at one point, D3 schools were not returning his phone calls, so he plays with that edge.
Golly, prove it. Gotta prove myself. That is his motto, and he's done it at every stop. And has done it in the first half of this game. Bert Velatze on net on the 3.
With Hill out, Alex has to take up the slack a little bit from 3. Johnston can't do it all by himself the whole game.
Luka Krajinovic is into the game for Gonzaga.
They're really doing a good job of doubling EK.
And Craig right back at it with a 3 of his own. 3 threes for 9 points, Ben Gregg.
6'10". He did not start earlier in the year. Stromer started, and when they made the change, it helped them help their rotation.
We're up a hardcore Gonzaga basketball fan, now a starter for his favorite team. Right halfway down. We'll head to the line.
Wright has scored over 1,000 points in his career. Here we go, the situation with Ben Gregg.
See how his insertion into the starting lineup has juiced an already excellent offense.
I mean, it's been dramatic. I think Stromer, he's a good player, but he wasn't ready as a freshman. And they were playing Purdue and Syracuse and UCLA.
Hey, that's not easy.
I mean, yeah, right. So I think that hurt them a little bit. And since he's come off the bench and Gregg started, they're a much, much better team.
Ryan Nembhard back in for the Zags. Short-handed LMU team.
Zone. Johnston is in the middle. It looks like a 1-1-3, but it's really a 2-3 zone.
EK in the middle of that zone. At the right angle, couldn't get it to fall. Rebound volleyed out of bounds, belongs to the Lions.
Thiemann has done a very, very good job against EK in this game. I would not have thought that was going to happen. But he's been in there the whole time. He's bodying EK. They're doubling him a little bit so EK can't move around him. Very good D.
Thiemann, a transfer from Cal, experience there, started 70 games. Johnston, he's feeling it. $15 first half points for Will Johnston. Nembhard dishes. Gregg wraps. Nembhard, the silencer, got it.
That was good poise there. Crowd was into it. Johnston just went past us, and he is breathing hard.
It's a great nugget. Carrying the offense. It's almost like he's caught his breath on the dribble there to get them into the offense. He has 15 in the first half. How about more in the lane? No, he's denied. Luka Krajinovic all over it. Shot clock violation and a timeout.
Johnston has been on fire. He wants the challenge. The backup 3 hits the bottom of the net.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, Kiana Martin, Wally Zerbiak, Chris Walker, Seth Davis. We'll get you caught up on all the highlights from around college basketball. Coming up on AT&T at the half. So this is I thought a cool little story here. So you have the final 4 teams in the AP poll 1 year ago around this week. You can see where the final 4 was. It wasn't exactly the top 4 teams in the country.
No doubt about it. None of them were ranked in the top 10. Miami, UConn, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic. And I got to thinking with our producer, Kamani Morales, who else would be likely? And St. Mary's is one of those teams, and Kentucky, despite the fact that they're playing badly right now, you got to go with talent sometimes,
yes.
right? They're going to figure it out, maybe. And then 2s from the Mountain West, Colorado State and San Diego State. Got to love those 2.
Going to, maybe. A qualifier at the end. Of course, keep it here on CBS Sports Network. After this game, you'll see St. Mary's in a game against Pepperdine. Top of the West Coast Conference feature today on CBS Sports Network. Watson at the timeout, long on the 3, but there's EK against Johnston with the size advantage. Watson spins it in. Switch hands in the air.
What
He
else
has
can
11.
he do? I mean, he does everything. I think Gonzaga would be a little bit wise to try to go inside first and then shoot threes. I think they're taking some quick threes too early.
Johnston got it to go. That is 17 in half one for a player who averages a shade under 10.
Pull-ups, threes, backups, spins. He's done everything in this game. Check this out. Little English off the backboard. Nicely done. And how about this? Between 3 guys, hits the fade pull with a guy challenging him. They got to think about a little double team here, maybe.
Now, one of the things that could stop him, foul difficulties, that was just his 2nd foul. Emhart in and out on the 1-and-1.
Those hurt.
Off the floppy action, the rat tail is on fire. Will Johnston, 20-point half.
Hickman got lost.
Everything but the basket for Nembhard. Deflected out. LMU ball. Have a chance to tie or go in front with a 3.
LMU has 41 points, and we're not even in the second half yet.
Somebody needed to step up for LMU. So shorthanded, only 6 scholarship guys available. Right, fadeaway J to tie it, no. Offensive board for the shorthanded squad. Beeman sliding away. Greg knocked it, but Wright steals it right back. Right for the lead. Bullseye!
Adrenaline has checked into the building. 44-43.
8-0 run for Coach Stan Johnson's LMU Lions. Getting it going from the outside. Justin Wright from the corner. 8 made threes for LMU. In front with 1:26 to go in the first half. Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, I hopped into the huddle, and I got to say it was kind of hard to understand what Stan Johnson was saying. His voice is definitely waning, but the first thing he did say was, "I love you guys." And while the Lions are greatly missing Kelly Leopepe's presence in the paint while he deals with that foot injury, they still have his leadership on the sideline. Stan Johnson told me today that he's like a coach, and I can confirm watching him. He has been all over Lars Thiemann, telling him, shoot more.
It's good to know Stan Johnson still in the Valentine's Day spirit. Graham Ike, second chance shot, and Gonzaga back in front.
Ike's struggling a little bit here. I mean, he's not getting those first ones to go down. Fortunately, he's got great second effort. I think Lars has done a very, very good job on him. 7'1", 270, moves pretty good.
Johnston is in his bag. Not this time. 5 on 4 on this end. Johnston late getting back. Watson, altered. Watson saves it, somehow navigates the ball to Ben Gregg.
You know, Watson is so interesting because he's a star player, but he's a blue-collar guy. And he's been a backup player to all the great players they've had here during his career. And now it's his chance to shine. And yet he still has all of that other stuff from his experience as a blend guy.
Johnston, of course! Exclamation point, 22-point half.
Is there anything else that this kid could have done in the first half? Look at that fake. He faked two guys out on that play.
That first half had it all. Gonzaga up just one on the road. LMU shorthanded. They've come to play. We'll send you to Kiana Martin and the crew in our New York studio. AT&T at the half. Should be a fun second half in store here in LA. Gonzaga, a 1-point lead over Loyola Marymount. He's Coach Bob Wenzel. I'm Chris Lewis. So Gonzaga, they're on the razor's edge of the tournament picture. Every game for them has a sense of importance. For LMU, short-handed team, but Will Johnston and the Lions have been more than worthy challengers tonight.
I mean, it's mostly Will Johnston, to be honest. I mean, the other guys are playing, and they're playing hard, but I mean, he is unbelievable. You know, 22 points in the first half. He scored 0 the last two times these two played, and Gonzaga won by 35 points. So this is like wild stuff right now.
Let's go into the game summary. It's brought to you by AT&T, and you can see both teams finding their rhythm from distance.
Oh yeah, and you know, the game is fairly even. Obviously, 1-point score, so a lot of the stats are pretty points in the paint the same. Second chance points is very much in favor of Gonzaga, but that's where it has to be. This guy has been the story of the game, there's no doubt about that. Several times he came off screens on out-of-bounds plays. The rest of the time he's just taking people off the dribble. Here is a side step. He's hit turnaround jump shots. He's been all over the floor handling the basketball. And without him, this would be a totally, obviously different game. First on January 30th, not much. Tonight, way, way much.
It's a different story. To get the halftime story, here's Emily.
Yeah, I had a quick chat with Mark Few at the half, and he said, we just need to play better defense. He said, we have to keep putting them in tough positions and just hope they don't make as many as they did in that first half. And unprompted, he brought up Will Johnston and just how hot he has been. He said, same message there, just keep forcing him into some tough shots.
22-point half, but Gonzaga still does have the 1-point lead to begin half number 2. Ike gets that first touch of the half. But how about Morris Thiemann holding up defensively?
He's doing great. And that time it was 1 against 1. It was no help side situation. He's being physical with Ike before the shot goes up. He's pushing him off where he does not want to go. Like the double. We'll see if the rotation's good enough.
Hill cut off in the lane. Clock down to just 2. Has to be a hook. Michael Graham gives LMU the lead. 48-47, a minute into the second half. Loyola Marymount, with only 6 players available on scholarship in this game, has the lead over the Bulldogs. Nemhard, a floater from the free throw line is true.
Thiemann at 7'1" and 270, however his weight is, has played all but 55 seconds in this game.
Gonna have some heavy minutes totals in this game. Gonzaga back up 1, a minute 30 gone by in half number 2. Up and under. Michael Graham, a career-high 8 points for the senior from Brooklyn.
Great execution, post to post. Watch the bump. Those are fouls. Ike has to be a little stronger, but he's getting fouled there. But he's getting, you know, Lars just has to keep doing the same thing because it's working. You mentioned, you know, he played a ton of games when he was at Cal.
120 games played, over 70 started. EK knocks it away. Ryan Nemhard sets up his shooter in the corner. Oh, and Hickman too strong. Deflected out, stays here.
First half was entertaining. Second half is entertaining as well. Post-to-post passing, and then EK at the other end gets bodied, makes it anyway.
Each team had 8 made threes in the first half. That rebound volley, that's the 4th time we've seen it in this game.
By one guy. Watson is doing an unbelievable job with that.
Nemhard lobs, EK flushes. Now 11 for Graham EK. 4 different zags in double figures. EK defends Thiemann. A whistle is EK's had a little bit of things to say at the start of this second half, and he and Thiemann have been going at it.
They really are. Tap back, that's a beautiful thing to watch. That's a guy who knows how to play basketball there, and there's an athlete right there.
Watson really is a great story. We hinted at it. Just that role player, that connective player, the previous installments of great Gonzaga teams with notable stars. Drew Timme at the top of the list. This season without Timme, you knew, all right, Watson might have to do a little bit more, but he's still done those little things that made him such a fun player to watch.
Yeah, and that's what makes him such a good player. And, had he not gone through that, look at that play. I mean, he makes tons of plays like that every single game. Those are winning plays. EK needs to learn how to roll to the basket better. Looks like the tip back is part of practice, and they all do it now.
And Hickman pays it off. Second chance points was a story in that first half. This time Gonzaga takes advantage. Hickman is 15.
Johnston conspicuously absent from the offense right now.
And a timeout.
Heavy hands over on the sideline by the guys who are not playing, encouraging those who are. Nice stuff.
CBS Sports celebrates Black History Month, paying tribute to the triumphs, influence on culture, and legacy of achievement. Take a look back at the career of Bo Kimble, who in 1990 led the nation in scoring, but also led Loyola Marymount to the Elite Eights. Of course, after the tragic passing of his good friend and teammate Hank Gathers. Kimble, he famously paid tribute to Gathers by shooting free throws with his left hand right here during the NCAA tournament. In 2011, Kimble launched the 44 for Life Foundation, whose goal was to decrease the risk of cardiac disease by getting people to learn CPR, encouraging schools in his home state of Pennsylvania to install defibrillators. You can see the banner up on the wall, Bo Kimble, his 30. And then, of course, in attendance, Paul Westhead, the architect of that fast break offense in the late 80s, early 90s. Have a legend in the building here today, and LMU was down just 1 at halftime. The last 7 of this game scored by Gonzaga to take a 6-point lead.
Hill is anxious to get a shot. Remember, he got those 3 fouls, 1 technical. That laid him on the bench quite a bit. And he's an action kind of player.
Johnston had 22 in the first half, looking for his first of the second half. Shot clock violation. Hey, that trap is something. All right, let's go check in with Emily.
Yeah, I talked to Paul Westhead. He's actually taking in the game with Gathers and Kimball's teammate, Jeff Fryer, and they both told me that seeing Hank's statue out front, I mean, just all the memories just come flooding back when they're here inside Hank's house. They said they're also so inspired by Bo Kimble and his fight to honor the memory of their teammate. He said that his nickname was Bo Love because that's what he spread in college and still today.
Yeah, certainly the legacy is felt as soon as you step around the gym here at the Gersten Pavilion.
Inside action on that play.
Baseline timing, Ryan Nemhard with a steal. Bounces to Greg, takes the contact, and has something to say.
He is a strong player. He makes threes, blend a guy, always does what he's supposed to do. He's got to stay on it on the boards, though. They're getting hurt on the boards a little bit.
11-0 run.
They're getting caught a little bit on switches, but they're hustling right now better than they did in the first half defensively.
Screen Thiemann. Hill fades. Another shot clock violation. Gonzaga has turned it up a notch on the defensive side.
It's been double teaming. Ike on the offensive end. Greg filling the lane. Gonzaga taking a little bit of control.
Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, gear up for a Serie A kickoff as Torino clashes against Lecce right here on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Team defense is what we're looking at now for Gonzaga in the second half. Nembhard in the far corner is going to get this steal right there on that pass, and it leads to a breakout, which is their typical way of playing. This is when Gonzaga is at their best, and they're feeling it. The score so far in the second half is 13-4 in favor of Gonzaga. So you can see the 11-0 run fueled by the defense.
5 turnovers already in 5 minutes of the second half. Reminds me of the first time these teams met, where Loyola Marymount had 8 turnovers in the first 7 minutes of that game.
Yeah, and what's happening right now is they're double teaming a little bit more aggressively. Zone defense here by Loyola Marymount. They used it in the first half effectively. I think this is a wise decision by Stan Johnson. When you jump back 10 points like that, you don't want them to be able to run up and score quickly.
Nembhard, like a wizard, fitted in there, and then the extra pass from Hickman to Ike.
That was excellent, excellent execution. They were prepared for the zone, no doubt about it. You don't have to shoot threes against zone. You can work it inside if that's your style.
Juice short, offensive rebound LMU. This Gonzaga defense is smothering right now.
It's very good right now.
Already a couple of shot clock violations in this half. Right, bullies his way inside to score, and the 13-0 run.
Nembhard's giving away a lot of weight with right there.
Ike drop step, reverse pivot, flicks it in.
Thiemann is not in the game. Ike understands that, and so does Nembhard, and they're going to him even more. He is at the bench, ready to come in on the sideline. He's checked in.
Johnston bobbled off the DHO, scoops it back up. Ike hammers him down. Ike points for his second foul.
Watch the passing in the seams of the zone. No, this is the offensive player by right. He just bullies his way, as you said, and Ike can't get there. He just backed Nembhard into the lane and shot over him. He's a 1,000-point scorer. Not here, but at North Carolina Central.
First point of the second half for Johnston. 23 on the game.
Thiemann back in. Let's see if this has an effect on Ike. He did a very good job on Ike in the first half.
Coach Stan Johnson said Thiemann, he has to be a monster tonight. This guy has been a monster, Johnston. His career high is 27. He is 24. Hickman glides to the rim.
That was assertive.
And on the other side, the acrobatics from Hill. Gonzaga shooting 57% in this game. A lot of interior looks from Ike. Halfway down.
Lars is doing it. I don't know if it's in his head right now.
Dusty Stromer called for the foul. That is his second.
Nice play by Hickman, all by himself on that one. Right here. The answer. I got a feeling Justice Hill here with the basketball wants to go.
Johnston flares and shoots. Book it. 27 for Johnston.
He's just too wide open. That was a simple play.
Nembhard sees the double. Ike rolls. Pivots back. Front of the rim. Hill blinding crossover over the shoulder for Thiemann. My goodness.
We are in the midst of action. Johnston from 3. Watch this pass. That is a thing of beauty.
We're into February of college basketball, which means you talk about tournament resumes, and Gonzaga, 24 straight NCAA tournaments. Resume right now, Jerry Palm has them on the first 4 out heading into today.
Yeah, and you know, every game becomes vital for them. And if they're going to make it as an at-large team, they can't lose this game. I don't think there's any question about that. However, they can still make it as a, you know, a winning their tournament. So they could be an automatic qualifier. But they've got to knuckle down defensively in this game. There's too many open shots by a team that has great confidence and is fired up right now. And you got to give the Lions a lot of credit. We've talked about only 6 players that are scholarship players in here. But I mean, you talk about wanting it badly. And Johnston has been absolutely phenomenal.
For just joining us, 6 players out for LMU, including their leading scorer, who's a Gonzaga transfer, and Dominic Harris. Ike out of the timeout, well designed from Mark Few.
Offense has not been the problem for Gonzaga in this game. This end has been the problem.
Right, gets Ike to fall. Thiemann, Ike recovers. Pivots around Ike. That arm came down. The officials caught it. 3rd on Ike.
A lot of hands on him. He got fouled several times. He is using his body to really protect the basketball, forcing the foul by Ike. Thiemann played 121 games at Cal. Started 70-something. He's only got 4 points, but his defense on Ike has been outstanding.
He says he is a big-time chef, Thiemann. He likes to cook for his teammates. In fact, he has a separate Instagram handle just for his food dishes.
He's right up your alley. You're the food guy.
Indeed. Gotta check that out after the game.
He also can do a Rubik's Cube, I'm told.
That's something I know nothing about being able to solve.
Ike is out. Huff is in.
Nembhard off the rotation. Clock down to 9. Hickman, line drive is short.
Watson has to make some of his winning plays here in the next 2 possessions. He's in the help side right now.
Johnston rises and connects. 30-piece for Will Johnston. 2-point game here in LA. Nembhard counters. Gets the roll. Second time he's had the shooter's touch here today.
3/4 of the way through, and Johnston does not seem to be cooling off. His confidence is through the roof.
Nembhard is the 5th player for Gonzaga to reach double-figure scoring. Johnston off-balance leader. Oh, man! Everything he touches turns to gold. 1-point game. Hickman's intercepted. Of course it's Johnston. He pulls. This roof would have come off the building. Freshman Braden Huff off glass. He has the silencer, the 4-time and reigning West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week.
That was impressive.
Hill angles it. What a rejection! Stromer climbs the ladder. Right spins, count the basket. And a chance to tie it at the line.
Backs people in. Left-handed. Keeps his body between the defense and the ball. That's Leoprete. He is out, not playing, but a team leader nonetheless.
And delivering the water to Johnston as if that's going to cool him off. Meanwhile, Wright has a chance to tie it. Last foul on Dusty Stromer is his 3rd. Gonzaga's 15th foul. Loyola Marymount has not committed a foul in the second half. Still a 1-point game.
Anton Watson has been conspicuously absent from the offense.
Has not scored in the second half. Pick and pop, off the freshman. A little much. Graham scoops it up. Hill, quick first step, all the way to the rim. Watson says no. Nembhard glides and sticks it in. Gonzaga back up 3.
We're seeing some action. That defensive play, I thought for sure Juice was in on that play.
Nembhard all over Johnston. 33 points, hunting for more. Watson again with a rejection. Leads the way on the break, the contact from Wright on the floor. Oh, man.
Johnston is not done yet. Bottom 3. Off the pick. In again. But look at this block. That is something to behold.
Will has come to thrill, and Johnston is the subject of our Reese's player profile. 33 points tonight. Actually, he only averages 10 points per game this season. Somebody needed to step up. Transfer from UT Rio Grande Valley. Who looks up to Damian Lillard? He's had some of those types of shots today.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. I mean, the 3-point shooting, he is so confident. And it's not only coming off screens and being a pop guy, he does it off the dribble as well. He's getting the defense to back up at the three-point line. And when he does, he's so confident shooting the basketball. It's just one of those days, we call it the zone, when a guy gets in the zone, and we don't mean zone defense. You know, he's in another place. He's in a different worldly place right now.
Emily, let's go down to you.
Yeah, guys, Will Johnston came over to the bench after that heat check, after he dropped 30 points and took what was called a hot shot, which is just a little energy drink, hoping that'll last him the next 7 minutes. But we mentioned all those injuries. Another guy who wishes he was out there, Dom Harris, having, of course, played at Gonzaga. I asked Johnson before the game if he's going to fight a little bit harder for his teammate tonight. He said, oh, yeah, this is Dom's battle, and we are going to war.
With the power infused from Dominic Harris, who is the West Coast Conference's best three-point shooter. Gonzaga still a front-running role with Anton Watson. A great two-way sequence. That's his first points in the second half.
You know, I said a minute ago, he's going to do something here, and he did. He blocked a shot, and then he gets involved offensively.
Another tapped-out rebound right off the ricochet. Everything but it dropping in.
Wright is much more effective when he's backing smaller guards into the lane. He's done that a lot in this game. He can do that to Nembhard.
Watson against Merkbaladze. Foul on the forward, his third. Rat tail, flick it back. Even when he's scoring 33 points in a night, even that looks stylish.
Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. He's doing pretty good, mate.
Breaking out the accent a little bit. PK off glass.
That was a tough shot. Two guys on him, but Lars was not one of them.
21 for Graham Ike, a team high.
Shooting over 50%, it looks like he's playing an average game.
Through the hands of the big Feeman, and of course it's Watson. Ball somehow finds his hands. Nembhard falls in transition. They're going to get Justin Wright on the foul.
That was right in front of us. A lot of bumping going on. The referees are allowing it. Let's take a look right here. A lot of contact. Nembhard needs to play with some energy here. Nice double on Hickman. Watson's wise. He was open for the shot, but he didn't take it.
Hickman will take it and make it.
Indeed. That's his job. Everybody did their job right there.
He's reached the 20-point mark. Nolan Hickman comes in averaging 13.
Stay home.
Merkbaladze loses it. Nembhard leading the way. Shuffles it to Greg. What a Venmo from Nembhard to Greg.
Boy, I'll tell you, the ball handling for Stan Johnson's team has been not good in the last few minutes. And Mark Few's group has taken advantage of it. Turnovers at one end. Runouts at the other end. Gonzaga's got the lead.
Next Thursday, 11 Eastern, the Loyola Marymount Lions return to the hardwood for a battle against Santa Clara. Catch the tip-off here on CBS Sports Network.
There is a ton to admire, and this game is hardly over. Ton to admire about the Lions in this one.
A game Loyola Marymount team missing 6 players, down to just 6 scholarship players for this game. This game was 72-71 Gonzaga. Since then, 11 in a row scored by the Bulldogs. Johnston.
We got a walk.
That's the call. It is a travel.
Well, the officials did a great job. Of course, one guy called a travel, which is correct. The other guy called a foul, and the travel happened before the foul, so it took precedence. Three-quarter court trap. Get it to the middle. Look opposite. Look opposite.
Greg. Nembhard has 9 assists. Woo. Ike shimmies the feed to Watson, who stepped out of bounds.
That was really, really too bad. And it's right. It's healed right on the white line. That was good patience that time by Gonzaga.
Contact on the screen.
Greg.
Greg
just pushed him. We saw a play like that against New Mexico twice, and nobody called anything.
That was a call your own fouls type of environment at the pit.
No free throws, though.
That is team foul number 6 on Gonzaga. Next one is the 1-and-1 for LMU.
See, Wright gave that ball up because he doesn't want to back in Watson. He can't do that. That's a push-up.
Hill didn't get called for it, but couldn't finish the layup. Impressive stretch for Gonzaga, taking a 1-point game to a double-digit game with seemingly the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and it was turnovers that hurt the Lions.
Watson chisels some space on the block. He's fouled from behind, team foul 5. Gonzaga, strong finishing kick. LMU is fought. That's what Coach Stan Johnson wanted. Zags have been tough on the road.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. For all your insurance needs, it's easy to Geico.
In Los Angeles, shorthanded Loyola Marymount given a fight, but Gonzaga is punched back, leading by double figures. Coming up next, catch another West Coast Conference clash. Pepperdine battles 18th ranked St. Mary's. You'll be here for all the action, CBS Sports Network. St. Mary's, they've been great. They've won 12 in a row, including beating Gonzaga earlier this year, have a 2-game lead in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, early in the year, they didn't find it, and now they're 17-1 in the last 18 games. I mean, they are a great, great defensive team, and they are showing that every single night. If you want to watch a nice guard, Aiden Haney is all-conference, and he's very, very good for them.
Leading the nation's second longest active winning streak, behind only UConn. Nembhard has 9 assists, works in a jumper, 14 points.
He took that ball between the legs of the defender to freeze him, and then took it back out and shot it.
Has the ball on a screen. Out of bounds.
Hickman's got 20. Watson's got 13 and 10. EK's got 21. Greg's got 15. And Johnson on the other side has 33.
Different approaches. If you're just joining us, it was 22 points in the first half for the guy with the ball in his hands, Will Johnston. 33 on the night. Into the lane, verticality from Ben Gregg.
Yeah, that was great too there. Fire still in the belly of the Lions right here. Patience is a virtue for Gonzaga at this junction of the game, if they choose to be.
Trying for the 10th time and a double-double, but deflected away by Feeman.
Back him in. He wants to back him in.
Hill flares, rainbow three, draws nothing, and Mercolate was out of bounds when he jumps. Gonzaga trying to extinguish that fire in the LMU belly with 2:19 left.
I didn't like that lob play last time by Gonzaga. They should know from the Kentucky film. That's what Kentucky tried when they were down, and Turns into a turnover. Greg intercepted it. Didn't need that play there. Pass it behind. Reverse the ball.
There's the hands from Johnston. Commits a foul. Number 3. Gonzaga coming off of that quad 1 win. In fact, you could hear the team say, hey, we got one in quad 1 now after that win against Kentucky. It's been a story. 0-5 in quad 1 before that as a team right now on the razor's edge of the NCAA tournament at large picture. Can the streak continue with Mark Few? 24 in a row. Whistle as soon as the ball inbounded.
You know, I'm thinking about the battle between Cleveland and EK in this game. And it was physical, and then it was over physical. But neither guy lost temper. You know, neither guy lost his cool in the game, even though there were several instances where they could have.
Keeping a cool head. Well-designed inbound. Hickman registers another 15-0 run. Right ends it.
He loves playing in the lane, even though he's only 6'1" and about 220.
LMU timeouts. Down to their last hope. This road game for Gonzaga hasn't been easy, but we go to easy mode for the Geico play of the game. Of course, it starts with Ryan Nembhard.
The dish to Greg. Beautiful fast break basketball, and that's what it's been about in the second half. Creating turnovers and getting runouts. And they had a burst of it, and you can see 16-0 in the second half. That makes a gigantic difference.
And that was the recipe for success. Gonzaga in the first meeting at home against LMU. Early in the game, forced those turnovers. It really wasn't even within double digits from the opening parts of that game. This completely different story here today. Johnston kept firing for LMU.
The first one was a 35-point victory. You know, and this one is tight as it could be right until the end.
And maybe that speaks to the theme of college basketball this year at large. I mean, a team could be completely different in their building, whether you're facing a top 10 team when you're at home, you're hosting a top 10 team. You have a pretty good chance to win the game. We've seen that this year in college hoops.
Absolutely. We've seen all kind of top 10 teams get beat by unranked teams on the road. Just about 50% of the time, actually, which is way, 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 way unusual.
It's an astounding number. EK whips. Watson fires. Of course he gets it back. He has 11 rebounds.
Yeah, and 13, 14 points. I mean, he is one heck of a winning player.
And Nembhard just got his 10th assist, making 11. Wow.
Well, when you got an older brother who's in the NBA, you probably learned something from him along the way.
Andrew, the older brother, blocking foul there, 1-1. In fact, the NBA All-Star break approaching. Andrew might be
Are you in a three-point shooting contest?
I mean, that would be a dream of mine, actually.
I'm in the slam dunk.
Oh, wow, okay. I know you can get up.
I had two players actually who participated in that. One guy won it, D. Brown.
Oh, yes.
Who was with the Celtics. Played
Blindfold, right?
Yeah.
EK, hope he's okay. He's slow to get up. Of course, here at LMU, as EK strides back. A lot of NBA players come to this area in the summer, get their runs in. Gonzaga right now has 10 players in the NBA.
Sabonis, Holmgren, Hachimura,
Kelly Olynyk. Markview has it rolling. A lot of talent coming through. Meanwhile, the curtain call away for Johnston. What a game, Will Johnston. He came in averaging 10 a contest. The Australian put up 33 here when his team needed it. Short-handed, just 6 scholarship players available in the biggest challenge perhaps of the West Coast Conference, Gonzaga coming to town. And he showed out.
Great to see a young man do something like that. He'll remember this game for the rest of his life.
St. Mary's will have something to say about the best challenge of the West Coast Conference, and they'll be able to make their statement on CBS Sports Network right after this one.
Indeed. Last year, Loyola beat Gonzaga at Gonzaga. This year at home, not quite enough.
They gave it a fight. Remember, Stan Johnson said, tonight is about the fight. I would say that mission has been accomplished. They gave a fight.
No doubt about it. Gave all they had, nothing but kudos for Stan and his team. They played their hearts out.
It was a challenge from Stan Johnson's LMU team, but Mark Few and Gonzaga passed the test and build on perhaps their biggest win from over the weekend against Kentucky. They beat LMU with a strong finishing kick, 91-74. So the updated West Coast Conference standings. Right now Gonzaga, San Francisco tied. Gonzaga has the head-to-head win against USF. St. Mary's against Pepperdine to come here on CBS Sports Network. First, Gonzaga and St. Mary's have a meeting March 2nd. Round out West Coast Conference play. What a game it was here at Gersten Pavilion. Producer Kamani Morales, director Matt Lundo, Bob Wenzel, Emily Brown, our entire CBS Sports crew. I'm Chris Lewis saying so long from LA. Final 91-74 Gonzaga. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Send it back to our New York studio.